What's up, everybody? My name's Gabe and this is the Reboot Nation, a channel where you can get help, encouragement, and advice with anything related to porn addiction or porn-induced sexual dysfunctions. And today I'm here with my man, Noah Church.
Howdy, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, Noah B.E Church, got my own YouTube channel, wrote Wack, Addicted to Internet Porn. I speak publicly, I make videos just like Gabe here. And we're in LA together trying to raise awareness about porn addiction recovery, PIED, all that stuff. We decided it would be a great idea to shoot a video together.
Yeah, so we're going to do 2 interviews, one on my channel and one on Noah's channel. We're both going to ask each other a series of 4 or 5 questions and have a conversation about them and see how it goes. So let's get started. All right, so Noah, what are your experiences with the flatline? Did you experience it? And then also, what would your advice be to guys that are going through the flatline?
Yeah, I definitely went through the flatline several times. The worst was actually about 8.5 months into my reboot. Yeah, I just completely, my penis shriveled up. I felt like it was numb. I had no feeling, no sexual desire, no libido really to speak of at all. Yep. And that lasted about 3 weeks.
That must have been pretty scary, right?
I had known about the flatline before because I'd read so many other people's stories.
Okay. Yeah, so it helped getting some information.
And that's why I always recommend to people, read people's stories, watch their videos, read as much as you can, learn as much as you can, because then you won't be scared when you hit something like the flatline. You'll know what it is, you'll know that it ends. So I knew it was just a matter of time. And after that flatline ended, I actually had the best sex of my life at that time. So it was
and that was
worth
about
the wait.
8.5, 9 months into your reboot? Or was
that was
after
about 9 months into my reboot.
Okay. Me too. Took me 9 months to recover. Some of y'all might be familiar. I went through a flatline for about 6 months where I felt very similar to Noah. I had no drive, no libido, and it was a scary process. So when you were reading about the flatline, I know you're 2 years younger than me. Did you read that younger guys were taking longer than older guys?
Yeah, to recover in general, for sure.
So you were aware of that? You were expecting a longer flatline?
I was, yeah. I actually recovered and was able to have sex for the first time quicker than I thought. It was 2.5 months in.
Oh, okay.
And that was the first time I'd ever had successful sex in my life. So unlike you had some sexual experiences growing up. Whenever I tried growing up, the first time I tried when I was 18, I always experienced PIED. I didn't know that that was what it was until I was 24, and I finally found Gary Wilson's TED Talk, The Great Porn Experiment, which opened my eyes, and that changed my life. But yeah, I knew that I could expect as much as maybe a year before I was fully recovered. And actually, it was about a year before I fully recovered my sensitivity, and I felt like I was back to where I should be.
Yeah.
Because even after I was able to have sex, it was still spotty, my erections weren't reliable, and I had a really hard time reaching orgasm. I had delayed ejaculation. Sometimes I couldn't do it at all.
So would you say after you regained your physical function back, you still saw continued improvement mentally and psychologically for
and physically too.
Yeah, and physically.
Yeah, absolutely. Some people expect, like, I get to 90 days and I'll be cured.
Yeah.
Like, that'll be it.
There's no set number for recovery.
No, it's very much a gradual improvement. But it's not just a straight line either. I show people a graph when I talk to them about this. It's like, go up a little bit and then down into a flat line, then way up. You have a spike of libido, you'll feel great for a day or two, and then flatten out again. And then but it's, if you map it over time, it's a general uptrend.
Yeah.
At least it was for me.
Yeah, it was for me too. Okay, next question. Escalating into different genres or more extreme material is pretty common with heavy porn users and porn addicts. Did you yourself experience that?
Yes, I did. Very early on. I encountered porn for the first time when I was 9, and I sought it out. It wasn't an accident. I'd always just been a horny little kid. I had masturbated thinking about women for as long as I could remember. And some guys just start masturbating when they hit puberty. For me, it had been my whole life. So I just had the bright idea one day, search Google for some sexy pictures. Yeah. And at first, that was more than enough to get me as aroused as I wanted to be.
How old were you when you first did that Google search for sexy
9 years old.
9 years old.
But after that, I started downloading videos through peer-to-peer sharing software and reading stories, stuff like that. And it escalated pretty quickly until by the time I was 13, I was watching some stuff that would have really disgusted me just a couple of years earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So what would
abusive
you...
porn and, on those peer-to-peer sites, you never know what you're going to download.
Yeah. I use LimeWire and Kazaa and stuff like that. So is that what you're using, like Napster,
exactly.
Kazaa? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And those images, we remember things more clearly when it's paired with adrenaline. So if we see something shocking in porn, for instance, then that sticks in our brain. And at first that can be disgusting, but over time, as we have escalated and our tolerance increases, and we need a sharper hit of dopamine to feel as aroused as we used to, we might go back to those things because they make us feel more. Even if it's shock or disgust or anxiety, anger, those emotions paired with sexual arousal can bring you up to a higher high.
So for someone watching this video, what would you tell them if they, feel like they're broken and they've escalated into stuff that they're scared to watch and they're worried that that might be who they naturally are? What would you tell someone out there that feels like what they discovered in porn, I guess is a better way to say it, is who they really are?
I get this question all the time, and what I tell people is that so you started out before porn, if you were just aroused by women or men or whatever your preferred partner is, and then after you started watching porn, you developed some strange fetishes or desires that you weren't sure about or that made you feel uneasy about your sexual orientation. Then once you reboot and you regain your sensitivity, most everybody that I've talked to returns to their natural libido, their natural sexuality. And that might always, what you discovered in porn might always turn you on, but you won't need it to get turned on and have fantastic sex. There are other people who have always had a fetish, like always been attracted to feet or something like that. Right, yeah. And if that was something that you grew up with before you encountered porn, then that's something that is latent.
So think about the timeline of the order of events when you started watching porn, and then experiment with giving it up and see if those tastes reverse themselves.
Yeah, and give it time too. It might need a lot of time. Yeah. It's not just going to be 1 or 2 weeks. When I first tried to have sex and experienced impotence, I was unable to. I looked up my problem on the internet, and there was none of this good information that we have now. You weren't out there yet. Gary Wilson wasn't out there, and people were saying, well, maybe you just lay off from masturbation and pornography for a week or two. Give your system a rest. And so I did that, and still was completely unable to have sex.
Dang it!
So I figured that couldn't be the problem. It must be something else. But I didn't know that it could take months, up to a year for some guys, especially young guys, who started using porn when they were teenagers before actually having real sex.
I started my reboot back in 2011, and at that time we didn't know that younger guys were taking longer. So I went into the whole process like, woohoo, I'm only going to take 6-8 weeks to recover. Because a lot of older guys on some forums like Reuniting and MedHelp and other forums like that, they were recovering in like 2 months. So I was optimistic. I thought I was going to recover really quick, and it ended up taking me 9 months to have successful sex. So that is good that the information's out there now. So my advice would be don't set a time frame for recovery. Just go with the flow and experiment with giving up porn and see how you change. I also experienced a reversal of tastes myself. There were some things that I got into with my porn use, well, I don't have to get into specifics in this video, but after going, several years without porn, I no longer desire those things. Would you say that's the same for you? Have your tastes reversed back to maybe pre-porn days? I know you started Google searching when you were 9, but have you noticed what you are into and what you crave and mentally has changed?
When I was rebooting and actually becoming intimate with women, really for the first time in my life, it was a process of self-discovery. I was learning what I actually liked. Right. And it wasn't what I had liked watching in porn, necessarily.
Totally different.
What I actually liked in real life could be completely different from what I thought turned me on. So it's really a process of self-discovery. Everyone's different, but it's wonderful to go through. Yeah,
that's really good advice. It's an experiment that you have to do to find out who you really are without porn's influence and porn's shaping of your sexuality. So that's a good answer. Okay, what are your top 2 pieces of advice for the newbies out there, maybe in their first month of rebooting?
We already did this question on yours, and I gotta give the same advice. Number one is educate yourself. I get guys who are asking me very basic questions all the time that, I give away my book for free on my website, Addicted to Internet Porn, and Gary Wilson's got a book, Your Brain on Porn. He's got a website, Your Brain on Porn, where everything you'd ever want to know about pornography addiction and recovery is collated on that site. So educate yourself, read other people's stories, find out what to expect on this journey, and go from there,
Yeah.
What else would I tell people? Well, 100% commitment, I find it to be a lot easier than 99% commitment. So if I were to say, I'm never ever going to eat ice cream again, just because I know that when I eat it, I binge and I feel really bad about myself the next day. I gain weight. If I just say it's out of my life now, then I can free myself.
Just no more cookies and cream.
Yeah, I can just free myself. I don't have to think about it. But if there's even a slightest chance that I could indulge, then that will kind of infect my brain, and it'll be in there, and it'll constantly come up like, oh, what about now, Noah? Is it time for the cookies and cream?
Yeah. So almost porn is not an option anymore.
Yeah, porn is not an option mentality. I agree. For sure.
Okay, so when you decided to start public speaking and getting your story out there, was it difficult to make that decision to go public and to start raising awareness on this?
Yeah. It started just by writing my own journal because I wanted to understand my own story and how I'd gotten so far down the rabbit hole. And once I wrote it out and shared it with people, that felt really good. And I started to realize I don't just want this 15 years of porn use and all the broken relationships just to be something really negative in my past that I regret. I wanted to turn it into something that could be good for other people, that could help other people. And when I was first searching for answers on the internet when I was 18 and really feeling broken, I couldn't find any good information. I didn't find anything that could help me. So I didn't want anyone else to go through that. And I felt like the best way to do it was to take that responsibility on myself, share my story, try to help people.
What was the most difficult thing when you started public speaking, like preparing for talks and stuff, or maybe preparing to make your first YouTube video or something like that?
YouTube videos were easier because I could shoot it alone in my room and tune it until it was just right. The first public talk I did was to 300 people.
Woo!
And a pretty crowded
Coming
theater.
in guns blazing.
Yeah, and it was called the Mystery Box Show. It's a show where storytellers...
Great video, look it up. Awesome speech. One of the best speeches I've ever seen.
That's on my channel, Noah B.E Church. But storytellers come on stage and they tell stories from their lives based around sexuality. Yeah. And I decided to tell my story of how I found porn, how I became addicted to it in retrospect, how it affected my relationships and my sexuality, and how I recovered. And that was difficult. I'd opened up to people one-on-one before, but on stage, you can see me in the video start to tear up at moments. But
my favorite part about that video is the emotion that you put into it. And it comes across as genuine, which it is, and it's just moving to the audience. So,
but by sharing my story before on a smaller scale, I realized that most everybody will admire you for opening up and having the strength to share something so personal. And the audience was really supportive. I got a standing ovation. It was
That's awesome.
Great night.
Yeah. I definitely encourage everyone to share your story. If not face-to-face with somebody, get on one of the recovery forums and share your story, because it really is a weight off your shoulders and a chance for you to have purpose behind the Reboot movement other than yourself. You can help other people along the way.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Noah, is he's doing just that. Okay, my last question for you is, I know you coach a lot of guys. How does that work, and what are some of the best benefits you think people out there could get from doing some coaching with you?
Well, it started, I just decided all these people are sending me questions, and I'm answering them. Why not benefit more people through these answers? So I started filming my answers to people's questions to me, and keeping it all anonymous, of course.
Yeah.
And putting those on YouTube so more people could get those answers, like how long is this flatline going to last? How long will it take me to recover from BIED? And it got to the point where I was well known enough that I was getting more emails per day than I could handle. So I decided, I'm giving away a lot for free, my book, my articles, my videos, and if people actually want to get in contact with me, they can now through email. It's $30 for an email coaching
Okay.
session, and $100 for a 50-minute phone or Skype session. And this is good for people who either have a situation that is a little unusual, and I'd like to get personal feedback on that.
Yeah.
Or most guys, they just want to talk to someone who's been there
Yeah.
and get reassurance and guidance about how to navigate this recovery, especially with recovering from PIED. That's most of the coaching calls I
Yeah.
get. It's about PIED and how to interact with a partner through that experience, how to share what you're going through with that partner, and how to bring her or him onto your side
Yeah.
so that you have someone to support you. That's a question I get a lot.
It's probably really beneficial too for people that don't have, like, if you have a really busy work schedule or something like that, and you can't take the time to search yourbrainonporn.com for every kind of situation and answer and search the forums. It's good to have someone like Noah that can give you tailored advice and get straight to the point and speak from not only an informational perspective, but also someone who's walked the walk and can point you in the right direction.
Yeah, also with the video or the phone call coaching, I do a follow-up email where I go over what we said and the goals that we laid out, and I give you a bunch of links to videos and articles that I think will help you and relate to your situation, give you something to go on later.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure you go check out Noah Church's awesome work. He's written a really good book, Wack, Addicted to Internet Porn, and he also runs an awesome informational website, addictedtointernetporn.com. And if you want to hear me answer some of his questions, go over to his YouTube channel that also contains tons of advice and informational videos on the topic of rebooting from porn-induced ED and porn addiction. It's pretty awesome stuff, and that YouTube channel is
Noah B.E Church.
Check it out.
My name.
All right, guys.
Get some insight into this beautiful head.
Much love. Bye.
Adios.
Okay, take two. Take two. And today I'm here with my man Noah Church.
All right.
He is author of...
We got to plan the handshake. The handshake.
I did
A natural hand.
I did an awkward
What's up? Gabe, what's up? Gabe.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Everybody, my name's Gabe. Okay, I got it. Alright. What's up, everybody? My name's Gabe. Okay, I got it. I thought you made a noise. Okay. This all has to happen at least one time when you do it, when you record.
I put in this in the blue for sure.
Okay.